granted.
Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, Oscar, Sierra.
What's up, my friends? Welcome to Chaos Live. It's the last Thursday of the month, so that means that we're here to do a live stream. So we're trying it out now. We're just kind of doing them on the last Thursdays of the month and kind of see how that goes, because I feel like, you know, just weren't doing so good in the past. So the demand, I don't think, is just there for my little live stream Q&A thing, and I can dedicate more time to just the actual video content. But for some of you, you may be interested in being here to hang out and all that stuff. So we got some people that were early into the stream hanging out. We even had a super chat earlier. So I forget who it was because it doesn't show me that far back anymore, but I forget the name. But someone super chatted. I think it was only 99 cents, but still super chatted like earlier in the afternoon. I was in here filming a video for next week, and all of a sudden my lights started blinking because the lights start blinking when someone does a super chat. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Am I accidentally live streaming right now? And so I had to go look on YouTube to figure it out, and then I saw someone just super chatted. I wasn't live streaming, but I was like, what the heck? Who the hell super chats before I even started the live stream? So thank you. I forget what the name was, but thank you for the 99-cent donation. You're awesome. Actually, I think it shows it. DJ Broadhurst. All right. So it was kind of crazy. I was like, what the heck? So, but notification platoon, we got Josh, Espaw, Edward, I don't know, is it Cadre or probably, T-Dog, Evie, JD 2017, we got Jared, we've got VGMR, we got Ryan, who else? Alyssa, one of our Chaos Army commanders. Thank you, Alyssa. Team Sports with a super chat. Hang on, we'll get to that. Let me get to the notification platoon, people. What else we got? Burham, Debbie, Random Clips. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. And kicking it off right away with Team Sports. Awesome, amazing individual. Keep grinding. Love your content, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. If you guys are not familiar with Team Sports, make sure you check that dude out. The Army recruiter / drill sergeant. I don't know, how does that work? You get to like part-time do drill sergeant, or you just go to, I don't know how that works, man. But Army recruiter / drill sergeant over in the New York area. If you're not aware of his channel, definitely check him out. So what do you got? What do you guys got for questions and all that kind of stuff? We also got Doug the Eliminator, one of our other Chaos Army commanders. Thanks, Doug. We come backwards in the chat. We'll go through. If you guys have questions, leave them in the chat, right? I do jump around sometimes a little bit here and there, right? But hey, if I miss your question, find me on Instagram, all right? I have an Instagram down in the description box down below. Go follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a message, and I'll reply back to you, all right? I'm not too big and above anybody to not message you back, right? Unless you want to chat. I don't really have time to really like have much of a conversation with a lot of you guys. Sometimes maybe a little bit here and there, but not too much. But if you guys have questions, whatever, hit me up there if I don't get to it in here. Hat giveaway, we are going to do the hat giveaway here in a little bit. For those members of the Discord channel, we had a little hat giveaway thing going on, and I have the names already picked, and we'll announce those names earlier. Those people have to be here for the stream to actually win. I have 2 names. We have the primary winner, and if that person is not here, then we'll go to the secondary winner, and if neither of those are here, then we'll save the hat. It's one of these Chaos hats for another time for another giveaway. How are you? I'm good. I'm doing good. Well, what do we got? People saying hey, people saying hi. Gotta go to the police station tomorrow. Wish me luck. Well, good luck to you, Random Clips Military. Evening, looking for information. What kind of information are you looking for? You should be on Matt Best's podcast. I'm sure that would be awesome, but I'm pretty sure that Matt Best does not give a crap about little old ThatChrisChaos over here making Army educational videos. I've watched his live streams and stuff like that, and I've said what's up to him in there, and he said what's up back, but I'm pretty sure that it wasn't because he was like, oh, I know who ThatChrisChaos is. He was just, responding to people in the chat. Anyone watch Outpost? I watched that movie a couple weekends ago. That was a good movie. I'm aware of the story. We had a guy come that was actually, I think, there a while back and did a little thing where he kind of talked about some of the tactics and things that are going on. It was kind of crazy and stuff like that. We got a new member. Or Junior Drizzy. Just renewing your membership, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. In other news, I'm so close to capstoning SFL tap and getting the hell out of this place. Well, good luck to you, old hand grenade. Your DD214, yeah, you should get that when you final out. How's everyone doing? I'm going to miss this when I ship off to Fort Benning on Sunday. Well, good luck to you, RJ. Hopefully it goes well. Was there a little oh, you became a member. Oh, sorry, I changed the little thing. I saw the little thing pop up on the stream on my screen. The little guy saluting. I forgot I changed the alerts. Forgot all about that. It's my birthday yesterday, and they made the class sing. Oh man, well, happy day after your birthday, man. Happy birthday, Junior Drizzy. Did you have any ice, Chris? Oklahoma got hit hard, but thankfully we kept power across the street and lost theirs. Crazy. No, we had some snow on Monday. So snow on Monday, and ended up being enough to close post. So that was pretty nice. So got a nice snow day on Monday. You know me from Instagram? Sure. I don't remember everybody, man. When you get duty station overseas, do they help you learn the language? Sometimes, a lot of time, well, most of the time, yeah. Most of the time you'll do some kind of cultural awareness at a minimum, and you'll learn a little bit through that. Most of the time you'll start off with like when I went to Korea, we did this cultural awareness classes where we kind of just got familiarized with how the culture works. We learned a little bit of basic stuff, but that's about it. You won't get full on educated on how to fluently speak the language or anything crazy like that. It'll just be like that. We got a super chat. Holy hand grenade dropping a $10 super chat, man. You rock. You're awesome. Not yet. Got to write my resume, turn in, sign up for some vocational courses and manufacturing, and then a couple months after that, I'm going to start clearing. Man, yeah, make sure you do all the ACAP stuff now. You start a year out, but 6 months out is pretty common. I got stuck with having to do it 2 months out or a month and a half out, something like that. So that kind of made it a little bit rushed and all that kind of thing. Make sure you get copies of your medical records and all that stuff, man. Thanks for the donation. Good luck on finaling out of the Army in that process. Where do we leave off at? I'm gonna come back up in the chat here in a little bit. Hey, from Australia, what's happening? Is it Robin? Is that what it is? The name? Thanks for what you do. Well, thanks, RJ. Appreciate you. Notification platoon. Got random military clips flooding it with some emojis. Thank you. Much respect and love. Thank you, Team Swartz. Hey, Chris, I'm 17. I'm graduating high school this year and don't know what to do once I graduate. Do you think the military is a good option for me? Possibly. I got a great video, I think it'll be released Monday, that maybe can help you evaluate some of that stuff. A little inside tip on it. There's a video that kind of talks a little bit about like if the military or the army in this case is right for you, kind of a thing, different examples to kind of help kind of gauge that and try to figure that out. So check that out on Monday, but it just kind of depends on what your goals are. There's a lot possibilities in there where it could be for you, could not be for you. I mean, it depends on what you want to do, but definitely be on the lookout for that video that it's probably going to come up on Monday. At giveaway tonight, yes, we'll do that a little bit. What MOS do you recommend? It varies from person to person. I always say that if you have like your dream job that you want to do, and maybe, just maybe, there's a military equivalent of that or an army equivalent of that, and try to go for that, right? So you got to think of those kind of things, right? If you want to be a mechanic, that exists. If you want to be a police officer, that exists. If you want to even work in video production stuff, that exists as well. So you just have to kind of try to evaluate what it is your dream job is or what your goal is for like a career, and see if there's some kind of like an army equivalent of that career. When are you gonna play Squads, Chris? I know. I need to get on that damn thing. I still have it on my computer. I got it on Steam. I got it. It's already installed. I just haven't loaded it. But probably when I do, I'll probably hit you guys up in the Discord channel. Link in the description if you guys are not a member of the Discord channel. But I'll probably hit you guys up in the Discord channel, and we'll try to arrange something and try to get it on it, and maybe try to do something. I don't know. Maybe Veterans Day. Maybe we'll do some kind of special Veterans Day thing, and I'll just all day long play games with you guys or something. I don't know. We'll see. When should be a good time to talk to a recruiter? As in what age? How long before you are waiting to join? 16, 17. I would say like it doesn't necessarily matter so much your age as much as it does like when you're going to graduate from high school kind of a thing, right? So like if you're maybe like your junior year or towards the end of your junior year or the beginning of your senior year, start the conversation, find out what you got to do, make sure you're prepared and you're ready for it, and then you can kind of start the process a little bit probably as you get later into your high school. So it really just depends on like where you're at in high school, but I'd say probably either the end of your junior year, beginning of your senior year, you can possibly start the process then and kind of start like asking questions and start learning about it and kind of finding out some things from the recruiter. How to join National Guard and Green Berets, like 19th Special Forces and 20th Special Forces Group. Same, you still have to go through SFAS, and if you're gonna be National Guard, so you're gonna have to try to go to SFAS in the National Guard, get selected, and if you get selected, go through the Q course, and then hopefully, pass all that stuff, and then you're good to go. So, it still goes off of that. You still have to basically, it's still the same process, but you obviously be in the National Guard. Speaking of squads, want to play afterwards? Oh, that's for Frank. Let's see. Bad news, my main Facebook got hacked. That sucks, man. Reclass to medical or intelligence. Depends on what you're interested in. Which one interests you the most? Hey Chris, I'm 22 years old, currently in the process of joining the Virginia Army National Guard for infantry, but I have an old ankle injury. Any advice on getting through OSIT? Ooh, man, I don't know. I don't know what you're like for running, right? So if it really affects you in running, I mean, there's probably not a whole lot you can do. I don't know. So it's kind of a tough thing. It depends on how bad your ankle injury is or was or whatever kind of a thing. How bad it affects you. Practice, right? If it's a bad thing where you go for runs and it bothers you like crazy, then I don't know, man. You might have to talk to a doctor and see if there's things that a doctor can do to kind of help you get through it and be able to be in the Army and deal with the pain from it. In your video about the first 100 yards, that was some good training. Do you think you'd have made it through all right? Yeah, I would have been fine, I'm sure. I got whipped into shape like through basic training, but yeah, I would have been okay at the time. Like now, I mean, I'm probably exhausted. I'm not in the greatest of shape. I've been trying to get back into working out again, but haven't really fully gotten into it again. But yeah, I probably would have been fine. And do you know the rotation for 18 X-ray selection starts? Like, do they do it once a year, twice a year, etc.? The months they do it, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Just finished MEPS yesterday, and I got an 11 X-ray contract. Ship out the 28th of December. My question is, what are the chances of getting 11 Bravo as opposed to 11 Charlie? Pretty good. There's no guarantee unless you got it in your contract you're going to be 11 Bravo, but as coming in as 11 X-ray, your odds are still pretty high to 11 Bravo because it's really random. Everybody I've ever talked to that has been 11 X-ray, they literally said that it was pretty random as hell when they went to OSIT as far as who became 11 Bravos and who became 11 Charlies. The bulk, the majority, the larger percentage of individuals become 11 Bravos, and then a smaller percentage become 11 Charlies. But like, I remember like there was one guy who was like, "Oh yeah, we were all standing in formation," and they were like, "From here all the way over, move over this way. You guys are gonna be 11 Bravos. The rest of you guys, you're 11 Charlies," and that was it. And they just kind of like processed them to be Bravos and Charlies. Other people I've heard too, they kind of went alphabetical, and they were like, "Hey, from this last name to this last name, I need you guys to come over here. You guys are Bravos, you guys are Charlies." So it's random as hell, right? From everybody I've ever talked to. There's nothing you can do to kind of improve your chances, nothing. But your chances are still pretty good because the higher percentage of people become Bravos. Hopefully that helps. Talked to, was it Ty Carter? He was the one of the dudes who won the Medal of Honor in Outpost Keating. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't remember who the guy was that that came and talked when I saw that whole thing. I don't think it was one of the main people that were like involved with, like they had in the movie from Outpost. I think it was just someone else who had some kind of something to do with it, and they kind of like talked about some of the tactics that happened around. So, hey Chris, would you want my ASVAB for Dummies book for giveaway? I barely used it. I actually have one that I was going to use for a review video, and I've never gotten around to it. If you want to, you can send it to the PO box if you really want to, and I can give it to someone who maybe needs it as like a fun little donation kind of a thing. So sure, if you want to send it my way, there's a PO box. It's in the description box down below. It's on my website. It's on my channel. If you go to the About section of my channel, it's got my PO box. If you really want to, sure, I can make sure it goes to a good home, my friend. I see a lot of people asking what MOS do I recommend. I kind of talked about that. It depends on you. It's the same person. I don't know if you saw my answer earlier, but I said that it really just depends on you and what you want to do. What are your thoughts on Fort Campbell? What about Fort Campbell? I don't know. Never been to Fort Campbell, so I could not tell you anything about Fort Campbell. That's awesome. Didn't snow days exist in the military? Yeah, they still exist in the military. I mean, certain places they'll be pretty rare. Like probably Fort Irwin, you're never gonna get one. But yeah, certain places, if the road conditions are bad enough, then they don't want soldiers getting injured trying to make it into work and all that stuff like that. So they'll just shut down post for safety purposes. But that depends on the leadership. That depends on the post. That depends on where you're at, all that kind of stuff. Some winters you get quite a few of them, some you barely get any, and again, that still depends on where you're at too, though. When's your birthday, Chris? January 20th. Just watched Ben Allen's live stream yesterday. Good deal. No DD214 tattoo for me? Or for, was it Holy Hand Grenade? I don't have no DD214. I don't have any military-related tattoos. Chris, do you ever watch any old Army recruiting commercials on YouTube from the time period when you enlisted? I don't think I've seen any in a long time. I haven't looked up any like recently. Back when I joined the Army, it was still be all you can be for a little bit anyways, only for like the first year and a half, something like that, before they switched to Army Strong, and that didn't last. No, Army 1, because Army Strong is the current one, right? Yeah. So then they switched to Army of 1, which that kind of backfired, I feel like, because everybody was like, hey, I'm an army of one. I'm an individual and all that stuff like that. And I think everybody took it the wrong way. So that slogan I don't feel like it lasted for a real long time. And then they went to the Army Strong, which is the current one, right? Trying to get a waiver, a criminal waiver, do recommendations work? Waivers are tricky, man. People ask me opinions on waivers and recommendations and tips and all that stuff like that. Waivers are super tricky. Sometimes you might, be in the same situation as someone else, right? But you guys are in different parts of the world, different parts of the United States, whatever. And one person will get that waiver and you won't. And it just happened to be because at that location, they were really desperate for people in that MOS. So they kind of looked past your stuff and were like, yeah, sure, he's good enough to come in. We can fill those slots. Where another location, they, were pretty good on their quotas and all that kind of stuff. So they're being really strict on it. Waivers are really tricky. There's no set good answer, I don't feel like, for any good tips to help you with waivers. It's really a coin toss, I feel like, a lot of times. What are the odds of getting stationed overseas for your first contract? It's possible. There's a lot of people I've known that have gotten stationed like Korea or Germany for their first duty station. So, I mean, it's very possible. It's not impossible. So that's very possible. Chris, do you know anything about Camp Zama, Japan? I do not. I've only been to the airport in Japan when I was leaving Korea one time. Stopped at Japan to refuel and take off from there. Hey Chris, love your content. First assignment after OSIT is Fort Riley. Ever been any advice on living on or off post? I have. Fort Riley was my first duty station. I hated it. Holy Hand Grenade is currently at Fort Riley. If you go to the Discord channel, you could probably have a full-on conversation with you, of the current stuff, because when I was in Fort Riley, it was in the early 2000s. So, that was my first duty assignment. Fort Riley has probably changed quite a bit since then, but I was not a big fan. Most people still aren't usually a big fan of Fort Riley, but I definitely recommend if you really want to know more about Fort Riley, and Holy Hand Grenade is free and available to chat or whatever, you can probably hit up the Discord link in the description box down below, and maybe you guys can chat it up, and he can tell you all about how much he loves Fort Riley. Do you ever throw grenades again after basic? Rarely. It's not a very common thing. I think after basic, I think we did 1 or 2 grenade ranges in the 10 years I was in. So it's a pretty rare thing. It probably also depends on our unit. Maybe it's a more active thing, like with like infantry units and certain things like that. But yeah, I think maybe like once or twice. I think I only threw maybe like 1 more grenade, and the other one I was like providing ammo for it. But it's not a very common thing after basic training to do much with grenades. Chris, did you get crap from your unit when you were A-capping and out processing of the Army? Not really crap. It was just a big pain in the ass because we were going to the National Training Center, then they were getting ready to go to JRTC after that and stuff. So it was a big pain in the ass just to get stuff done. And I was the NCOIC for the ammo for the entire unit. So I was the go-to person for all the ammo stuff. And they weren't very confident. Like, I was good at it. I'm not going to lie. I was good at it. We got super chat. VGMR, we'll get to you in a second, man. But I was, pretty good at doing the ammo stuff. So they really kind of relied on me really heavily, which sucked. Because, it made it to where they really needed me to be able to do ammo stuff for like NTC. So I got stuck doing NTC and then coming back and now having a month and a half to ACAP. And so it was horrible. And it was around December. So I didn't even have that. I really had a month because half of December, a lot of things were going to shut down for like Christmas and stuff like that. So we got VGMR with the super chat. Let me jump down I'm a little ways behind, huh? VGMR with $10 super chat. Thank you, man. You're awesome, dude. Join the Discord, talk to our mighty fine vets and soldiers as our aspiring soldiers. I couldn't get that out. As well as our aspiring soldiers. I don't know why I read that like all weird and stuff like that. But yes, another super chat from Holy Hand Grenade. But yes, thank you VGMR for the super chat. Definitely join the Discord. There's some veterans in there. There's people that want to be in the military. There's a great kind of combination of things. So go check that out. Definitely. And then Holy Hand Grenade. Oh yeah, I'm just so tickled to have spent 2.5 years in a place like Kansas. There you go. See, Holy Hand Grenade loves that place. It's his favorite. I think you're gonna stay there, right? Did you decide that you're gonna move and get a nice place in Junction City? Just live in Junction City, maybe Ogden, maybe something like that. Maybe, you know, live it up and move over to Manhattan. I don't know. Who knows, right? All right, let me come backwards in the chat a little bit, but we're gonna jump through a little ways because I didn't realize I was this far behind. Chris, what are some of the craziest pranks you've done or heard of when it comes to breaking in the fresh privates to the new unit? I don't think they're too crazy kind of a thing. I mean, I always loved the exhaust samples. We've gotten a couple people with exhaust samples where they going around with like a trash bag and they, you know, put it over the muffler or around the muffler or the exhaust system of the whatever vehicle it was, and, you know, going around with this bag and they rode on it and stuff like that, and they're trying to find out where they have to turn it in. That was always fun. I think we've done the blinker fluid one where we tried to go talk to the mechanics to ask for blinker fluid. I don't remember what some of the other ones were. There's quite a few, I'm sure, but I don't remember all of them. What's the difference between 11 Bravo and 11 Charlie? One's an infantryman, the one's a mortarman. I mean, I have videos on it. You know, one's gonna be a little bit farther out and fire indirect fire things, where the other one's more like kicking in the doors and doing raids and doing attacks and all that stuff. What's the difference between police and military police? One's in the military and one's not. I don't know what you're looking for there. How are positions in formation determined? What do you mean positions? Usually you go in order of rank. A lot of times you'll have the, obviously, like the squad leader or the section sergeant at the very end of the, you know, the rank. So if you're looking at it, like say if you were at the platoon sergeant's position, which would be looking at the platoon, then the far left person is the section sergeant or the squad leader for that platoon, depending on how they're broke down. And then the person next to that one is usually the second in command. So whoever their person's team leader is or squad leader is there, and then from there it usually goes in order of rank. Most times, you know, so maybe your specialists and your PFCs and whatever, all the way down to your lowest ranking soldier on the very far right. So usually your soldiers on the very far right a lot of times are your lowest ranking soldiers in the formation. When you do the next Veterans Day Freebies 2020 video, probably pretty soon, because it's coming up on the 11th. So it'll probably be a video maybe next week. I'll probably start putting it together because a lot of stuff isn't out yet. So I'll probably start putting that together probably next week. Can you get both airborne and air assault in your contract? You can get airborne if you're lucky enough to get it in there. Air assault they usually don't put in your contract. There's so many schools, they have them all over the place. That's not something that usually that goes into your contract kind of a thing. So no, you shouldn't. That wouldn't be a thing that goes in there. The hat. Let's do the hat thing. Let's do the hat thing now. I mean, how far into the stream are we? Yeah, we're about halfway. That's pretty good. All right. So we'll give it some time, but the winner of the hat from the Discord, which he has to be here, has to send me a message on Discord to say that, hey, yes, I'm here, kind of a thing. And that is going to be, and that's going to be, it's got to be like within the next like couple minutes too. And that's going to be Sig Saucer 226 in parentheses Sean. All right, so if you're in here in the live stream, let me know in the live stream, because I want to be able to see you in the live stream saying, yeah, I'm here, and then shoot me a message over on Discord. And if you were here in the live stream, not someone trying to message you saying, hey, quick, man, go message that. No, that's not going to count. So if you're here in the live stream and you message me here in the next couple minutes, you won the hat. If not, I'm going to the runner-up. How long should I wait until I start my enlistment process? Whenever you're ready, really. If you're still in high school, I'd say like you're on your end of your junior, beginning of your senior year. Sounds good, Chris. I don't have use for the book anymore and would just throw it away anyways. I shall send it to you next week. Cool deal, man. So, thanks to Joe. One of you guys maybe can have a book to help you study for the ASVAB. We'll see how things go. We'll figure out something. How to go in at E4. I'm in 9th grade. Well, you're going to have a ways to go from now. The only way you can come in as an E4 is with a bachelor's degree. So You're gonna have to go to college then and get a bachelor's degree and then join the Army. Because that's really the only way, unless you were prior service, that you can come into the Army with E4 rank. Let me jump down a little bit. Has anybody said that I'm what is it, Saucer Sig 226? Oh, I don't. Hey, message me. Cool, man. Alright, so I got the message from, was he actually in here? I didn't see anything posting yet, but I did see he just messaged me like a minute ago, so say that he's in the stream. So congratulations, man, you won the hat. So I'll get your information in the later whenever you get a chance inside of the Discord. Just send me your mailing address info and I'll get it mailed out soon, hopefully. Alright, skip a ways down because I'm pretty far behind. Hey Chris, just got into your channel. Just got approved for active from reserves. How should I prepare for this transition? Ooh man, it's rough. A lot of times I know people that, you know, it's really chill in the reserves, because I've known people that have gone from active to reserves and they're like, holy crap, this is so much different. It's way more chill, less organized. People just don't give a crap, all this kind of stuff like that. So now you're going the opposite way. You're going from people being really super chill and relaxed and not giving a crap to now it being more organized and being more strict and being a little crazy. So just be prepared, you know, for, you know, long hours sometimes, depending on your unit, depending on what's going on, you know, wearing your uniform a lot more, having to be a little bit more prepared for things. So I mean, definitely make sure you're in great shape, because now you're gonna be doing now you're gonna be doing PT every morning. So now you have to do PT, physical fitness, every morning, Monday through Friday. So be ready for that. So make sure you're in great shape to be able to kind of keep up with that. And I don't know, like most reserve units, I always hear that they're not as strict with like standing at parade rest for non-commissioned officers. So be prepared for that, right? Be prepared to, you know, stand at parade rest for non-commissioned officers unless they tell you otherwise, right? But just always make sure you do it, and all that kind of stuff. So good luck to you, though. You'll have to, you know, hit us back up and let us know how that transition went. How are things going? What are your biggest kind of differences from what you were used to on the reserve side compared to going over to the National Guard or going over to the active duty side? Task and Purpose has a new video on a new modular stackable hand grenade system. Interesting. And AIT now, awesome. Is it Cadre? Is that what it is? Good deal, man. Appreciate your videos. Help me with my decision to join. Cool. Appreciate you watching. Junction City, you're fine. Hey, it's a great place. What are you talking about? You don't like Junction City? You're not gonna find a nice little sweet place in Junction City to live? Holy hand grenade. At basic right now, and the drill sergeant just dropped my phone and it's all cracked now. Nice. Damn. Are you in that little beginning phase where they're allowing you to keep your phone still, or are you towards the end, or how come you get to have your phone, man? That's a good deal. I mean, it sucks that your drill sergeant dropped your phone. Were you watching me when you dropped your phone? That'd be pretty crazy. What do you do in ROTC? You go to college, you do Army training for 4 years. I don't really know. I've never been to ROTC. How was your training path in AA Mike? It's pretty easy. I mean, back then it was only 5 weeks for AIT. I think they've extended it by a couple weeks now, or a week or something like that. I don't remember what they've extended it to. So you learn it a little bit more, but I don't think 88 Mike school is too difficult, right? I mean, you still have the drill sergeants, but not as strict as like basic training drill sergeants. You're doing a lot of classroom stuff, a lot of like practical stuff of actually driving trucks and doing convoy training. I don't think it was that bad. What does it look like when a new lieutenant and a captain gets assigned to your platoon or company? They just usually just show up. So usually like a lieutenant would go to your platoon, right, for your platoon leader. Usually they just show up. A lot of times, like if the outgoing platoon leader is leaving sometime soon, maybe to get promoted or to go to do, you know, a different assignment or whatever, then that new platoon leader will show up towards like last like couple weeks or month maybe of that platoon leader's time. So you kind of get introduced to him at that point in time, or her, or whatever the case is. And they kind of do left seat, right seat kind of a thing is what it's called. So that way they can kind of train them up and kind of get familiarized. So you'll get to meet them then and they'll be kind of shadowing the other lieutenant, the previous platoon leader, and doing it that way. And then a lot of times company commanders sometimes is kind of something similar in a way, where they'll kind of show up and you'll just get introduced to them. So they just kind of show up and I don't know. There's nothing special really to it. You have friends from the Navy? Maybe a couple. Not a lot. Most of my friends are Army. And then a couple of other people that are from other branches, but the bulk of them are Army. Still salty about it about your phone? That sucks, man. Anyone in the Cav? I was curious about getting my Stetsons and Spurs. Yes, I was in 2 Cav units. I have my Spurs back there. I did not get a Stetson, though. So Stetsons are just a voluntary thing. You have to pay for it yourself. You buy your own Stetson. The only time you ever wear the Stetson is usually during squadron formation. So if they have a big formation, you're doing a squadron formation, then they'll usually put it out, hey, Spurs and Stetsons are authorized, and then you wear your Stetson. Otherwise, you're not normally walking around with your Stetson on all the time. Balls, you might wear like a Stetson. You go to a formal event or a military ball, then you might wear your Stetson at the ball. That's about it. There's only a few select times you can kind of wear your Stetson. And then Spurs, you only get your Spurs if you've done either a spur ride or you've gone to combat with that Cav unit. So the way it's supposed to work is if you've done a spur ride, which is like this 1 week, 2 week kind of like hazing kind of a thing, initiation kind of thing, big physical and all sorts of other tasks that are going on. And if you complete that, then you get your silver Spurs. If you go to combat with a unit, then you get your gold Spurs. However, my first combat unit, or my first Cav unit, I don't know if they weren't familiar, they were doing weird things, but I got silver Spurs, which I shouldn't have got silver Spurs. I should have got gold Spurs because I went to combat with them. I didn't do a spur ride. And then I also should have gotten another pair of Spurs from 410 Cav because I went to combat with them too, but I think they were cheapskates and didn't give anybody Spurs. I don't know. So I only have the 1 pair of Spurs, and they're not even the correct Spurs, but I still have them because those are the ones that were given to me at the time. I could later, at a later point in time, if I wanted to go buy some gold Spurs, but I feel like now it's kind of too late, and I'm going to stick with the ones that I have because that's what I got. Chris, know anything about the... Oh yeah, you're talking about that one. My last unit was the... I don't see the rest of that. 18 Delta Stetson Spurs. No, it's anybody in a Cav unit. Everybody in that Cav unit will do the Stetsons and Spurs, but you have to be qualified to wear the Spurs. Not anybody can wear the Spurs, though. Do you know anything about how basic training is going during COVID? Sucks, from what I hear. Everything I hear is people are hating it like crazy. I don't know all of the stuff, but a lot of people say that it's taking forever. Things are kind of being dragged out a little bit more. I hear it sucks. I don't know all the details of it. We had 34 people failed the first one, then 6 that couldn't pass it on the 3rd attempt, and they all graduated. Yeah, well, especially now with it not being a requirement until possibly 2021, 2022, whenever they decide to kind of do that. Yeah, I mean, okay, there's Sean right there. I don't know if you earlier said hi too, but you're still good, man. You won the hat. Best chance to get airborne in your contract is through Special Forces, current Ranger contracts, and parachute riggers. Yeah, pretty much. How does car insurance work in the reserves? I am 19 years old, first-time driver. I'm going to buy a used car. You still have to get car insurance. For reserves, you just get car insurance for wherever you're living because you're not full-time Army, so you're not moving around all the places. And even if you were active duty, you still have to kind of change for the state because insurance varies based on the state you're in. But, I mean, it's really not different because you're in the reserve, so it really doesn't change really anything crazy for car insurance. Yeah, EOC testing is not a requirement. Yeah, I mean the ACFT is no longer basically required. Evie with a super chat with the stickers. That's kind of cool. Is this like some this going on? Let's see the lights blink. Lights not blink, or did I just miss it? Didn't notice it. Well, thank you, Evie. Thanks for the super chat. You rock. I don't care what Holy Hand Grenade says about you. No, I'm just kidding. Wow, Saber 6 seemed to always authorize us Stetson and Spurs. I think he just liked wearing the Stetsons. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I mean, that could also probably depend on your leadership, right? Both of the cav units I was in, we were only allowed to wear the Stetsons during special events and during the squadron formations. Any other time we couldn't wear Stetsons or Spurs either. I mean, that was pretty much the same kind of deal. VGMR with another super chat. Man, you rock, dude. How long has that Sword of Omens been sitting back there? Like, I don't know, 10, 12 years, something like that? No. This is the first live stream with the Sword of Omens back there. Thanks for noticing. I was wondering if someone was going to notice that thing back there. So yeah, that's a cool thing. I got it on I had a photo on Instagram. I did a vlog about it over on my DD214 vlog channel. So yeah, Sword of Omens, Thundercat's Hoe, right there. So yeah, check out the vlog if you guys didn't see that little vlog of my unveiling of that thing. It's on my DD214 vlog channel. So the last little vlog I did, and so I kind of show off Sword of Omens back there. Don't forget the party in the Discord. There you go. Go hang out in the Discord. I'll probably not be able to hang out because I want to finish up today, Monday's video, which is going to be a fun one. It's got some skits in it. And if you saw on Instagram, I posted a little photo of me in the uniform. And I did a couple of skits that'll be in this Monday's video. So hopefully it works out, and hopefully it turns out pretty cool. Yeah, being over 6 foot is terrible for a launcher dog. 14 Tango, especially if you're a crewman. Interesting. Let me scroll down. How do you get a security clearance? You need to have one. You can't just get it just because you want it. You have to be in a position where you need a security clearance. For example, I got a security clearance because of where I was stationed at in Korea. I was stationed right on the border, and so I had to get a security clearance to be on the border. Some people have to get a security clearance based on their job, based on their MOS. There's a lot of things. So if they require you to get a security clearance, then you have to fill out this massive packet that asks you ridiculous questions that are hard to remember. You probably do an interview with someone, and then it takes a little bit. Sometimes it can take like a couple months. Sometimes it can take a whole year to get a security clearance approved and all that stuff. So it's a little bit of a pain. Is ACFT required to pass? Currently, no. Currently, they're having people in some cases still take it, but if you fail it, they're not like holding it against you right now. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing right now with all this COVID stuff. So right now, until further notice, it's if you fail the ACFT, whether that's in basic or AIT or your unit, they don't really hold it against you necessarily. I mean, they might make you do extra PT, but they're not going to like hold you back from getting promoted or hold you back from re-enlisting or anything like that. So happy early Halloween, everyone. It's early Halloween. I'm probably going to do maybe a fun gaming live stream, maybe possibly Saturday afternoon on Halloween. We'll see how things kind of go, but possibly I might do like a little Call of Duty live stream on Saturday for Halloween. Do something kind of fun. We'll see. Chris, they didn't blink. I'm a ninja. I don't know, but Evie. Maybe it's because it's a sticker. Maybe it doesn't go off with stickers. Maybe it only goes off on super chats. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Sorry about that, Evie. Sorry the lights didn't blink for you. I'm sorry. What's up, Captain Rex? How's it going? Opinion on 18 X-ray? It's cool. The only thing that like I've talked to people that have done 18 X-ray kind of whole thing was that they didn't like that if you fail, they're going to put you needs of the Army, which is most commonly is going to be 11 Bravo, but that's not necessarily always the case. The most common one is going to be 11 Bravo that you're going to go to. But if you fail SFAS, they're going to put you in whatever MOS they want to put you in. So have a choice now. The like couple of people I've talked to that did 18 X-ray and then they didn't make it, right? A big factor being they didn't have like experience or anything like that, and didn't really, have all the right tools, I guess, in their toolbox to get through SFAS. But they said they kind of wish that they would have gone into an MOS that they love. There was something they would have really enjoyed, then gone to SFAS, because then if they don't pass SFAS, they at least get to go back to that MOS. Where when you come directly in with an 18 X-ray contract and you don't pass, now you have to just do whatever they need you to do. So, like I said, commonly 11 Bravo, because they're usually always short on 11 Bravos. Chris, where's your dog? It's probably upstairs, running around, causing some havoc. Who knows? You have a vlog channel, Chris? I do. It's called DD214 Vlogs. If you go to my main channel here, it should be on the right-hand side or somewhere on there you can find it. If you go to... I think my website might have a link to it. I don't remember. But if you do a search for DD214 Vlogs, you can find it. Love the vids. Well, thanks. Was it Alfredo? Lieutenant Alfredo? What's the normal... Oops, hang on. Try to scroll slightly and it scrolled me a ways down. Something about like, what's the normal starting something? What's the normal starting contract in years does a recruiter normally takes? You're talking about like your normal like contract to come into the Army? The pretty common one is usually a 4-year contract. I mean, but technically it's an 8-year contract, but 4 years of actually serving in the military and then another 4 years of inactive reserves kind of a thing. So, but the most common one is usually a 4-year contract. Right in Discord, bring your own beer. I know the United States Marine Corps is phasing out the tanks. Is the Army decreasing its total tanks also? No. It's not like they're like getting rid of tanks like United States wide and that's why they got rid of tanks. No, it's just the Marines would rather focus on what they do a little bit more and not deal with tanks and let the Army deal with the tanks. So it's not like a thing that because the Marines are getting rid of tanks, everybody's getting rid of tanks. No, it's just the Marines have decided that this is a better task for the Army to do. So we're just going to let the Army deal with tanks and leave it at that. So they're not downsizing the entire United States military of tanks, just the Marines, because they're just going to let it be an Army thing. So the Army will continue doing 19 kilos and continue doing tanks as they've always done. Do not want a security clearance if you're bad with money? Yeah, I mean, that can be a thing that can, you can lose your security clearance if you're bad with money, because they can see that you're probably susceptible to possibly being bribed. I've known people that have like, bad credit history because of getting themselves into debt and not paying their bills and all that kind of stuff like that. And so that has caused them to get denied for a security clearance. So yeah, it's a big thing. What base was I stationed at in Korea? I was at Camp Boniface, which is the Joint Security Area, or the JSA. It was right along the border of North Korea, South Korea. They're the ones that kind of run the DMZ and all that stuff. So I was up there mainly because I was tall, and they want North Koreans to think that all Americans are tall. So I'm like 6'3", so they want the tall guys up there to make it look like all Americans are really big. Can you buy your own gun from your local gun shop and use it in the Army? No. You can buy a weapon, right? Not if you live in the barracks. Like if you live in the barracks, it has to get stored somewhere else. But if you get your own weapon, you can't use it for military use. You have to use the military issued ones. But no, you have to use strictly the military issue stuff for weapons wise. So your first contract's length is mostly determined by the length of the training for your MOS. The longer the training, the longer contract. Yeah, I mean, your majority of your MOSs are really only going to need to do a 4-year contract, but for certain MOSs, you are going to have to do a 6-year contract. Usually it doesn't go past that. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody. I mean, it could be possible, but I don't think I've heard of anybody having to do more than a 6-year contract for an initial one. But I'm sure there's probably possibly some cases of that. But yeah, your most common one are 4 years, and then depending on if you have an MOS like 18 X-ray, I think requires 6 years. Some of your 17 Charlies, certain other MOSs require a 6-year contract though, but most of your contracts are 4-year contracts. What happens if you fail physical testing and basic training? Currently, nothing. Because of all the COVID stuff or whatever their reasoning is for it right now, nothing. You fail it, they're gonna be like, oh, we're disappointed in you. I guess we're just have to let you graduate anyways. So currently nothing. Call of Duty Zombies would be fitting for Halloween. It probably would be. I don't know. I mean, we could. I have the remastered Call of Duty that has zombies in it. And then they also have that new one that's currently going on right now, which I've seen some people streaming it, with Warzone, where if you play Warzone and you get killed, you come back as a zombie, and you have to kill somebody as a zombie to come back into the game, and they don't have the gulag. So that's kind of cool, but I'm not very good at Warzone, so I don't know. We'll figure something out maybe for Halloween for some kind of cool thing. Chris, you talked about SFAB real briefly a while back. Eventually, I might do a kind of a better in-depth video about SFAB. It's still fairly newish. I've talked to quite a few people in the SFAB, and like you talk to like some people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just did an interview, and then I got into the SFAB," and then they kind of molded that from there and kind of started adding more physical stuff in there, and then they're like, "Yeah, I know I had to pass this little physical fitness obstacle course, do an interview, and then I got into SFAB." And then they still, I don't know if they have now figured out a kind of requirement to get into the Security Forces Brigade or the SFAB. But back the last time I talked to someone, what was it, late last year, early this year, something like that, they were kind of still hashing out some things, and they didn't really have it set in stone, I don't think, as far as what the kind of like how it would work for people to get into the SFAB. It's still kind of, I don't know, it's still kind of wishy-washy, I feel like, somewhat. But maybe at some point, once things feel more concrete with the SFAB, because I mean, SFAB only started in 2017, so it's not even that really old of a thing. It's still a pretty new thing. What are your plans for Halloween, Chris? Possibly live stream in the afternoon, and then probably take my daughter trick-or-treating or something. I don't know. We haven't kind of figured all the details out just yet. Delta Force and Rangers are two different things. They are. Was someone asking about that or something? And Delta Force wear Ranger berets? Yeah, it's two different things. What is SFAB? Yeah, it's Security Forces Assistance Brigade. So they basically, some people complain that this is kind of what Special Forces kind of did in certain aspects anyways, but they're kind of like these training individuals. So they would deploy to, let's say, Afghanistan, and they would focus on training, Afghanistan locals, like for their local army or whatever, on tactics and how to do things, and advise people on how to do things tactically and do all this other stuff. So they're these high-speed advisors, I guess you could say, that are kind of responsible for trying to train allied forces. So something kind of similar along those lines. But some people say that that's kind of dumb, because that's kind of what Special Forces do too. Some of the stuff that what they do, not everything what they do, is not, they do the high-speed missions, but they also do things like training allied forces. So I don't know if maybe it's because they want to let the Special Forces guys and everything just do their high-speed stuff and then focus the training on SFAB. So I don't know. Apparently you can choose if you're 11 Bravo or 11 Charlie. I was told by an X11 Charlie. Everybody I've talked to recently, they said it was random as hell. They said the drill sergeants literally just grabbed half of the platoon or half of the company and told them they were the Bravos, and then the remaining small percentage, they were like, you guys are the Charlies, and they didn't get a say in it. So, I mean, sure, I'm sure it can depend. Maybe that person ended up in a specific, class where they were like, hey, we got any volunteers that want to be Charlies? And then everybody else got to be Bravos or whatever. I don't know. But everybody I've ever talked to recently, within the last recently, I've talked to 11 X-Ray, a guy who was 11 X-Ray back in, actually, I think it was like 2 months ago. And he was like, yeah, we were all in formation. They were like, this row, this row, this row, this row, 11 Bravos. Go over this way. These remaining rows, you guys come over here. You guys are 11 Charlies. That's literally how they determine who was Bravos and who were Charlies. So it really depends, though. But it doesn't sound like it's a very, way that you can typically choose which one you want. Can you carry an RPG with a M249? Would be awesome. Probably not. Well, for one, RPGs aren't really used by U.S. military. We usually use the AT4s, or you'll use the, what's the one with the clue? Not the toe. And they have the name of it, but the other thing. But RPGs aren't usually the military thing. But no, not typically. I mean, usually it's like security in a vehicle and used for certain situations. Maybe there might be situations where someone's carrying one, but yeah. Thus, was it? Yes, you can legally drink if the country allows it and you're not on a combat tour. Yeah. Talking about like if you're stationed like in Germany or something like that. Yeah, you're allowed to still drink overseas as long as it's not a combat tour and your leadership allows it. Sometimes leaderships have like weird restrictions, but it just depends. Chris, have any recruits or recent graduates from basic training mentioned how the lack of shark attack is working or not? I have not heard just yet. No, I don't think so. There might have been one or two people in the comments of that last video that mentioned something about it, but I don't remember if they said specifically if they actually went through it or what. I don't remember. My dad was gunner in Iraq. Awesome. Javelin, yes. The javelin is the thing with the clue. Couldn't think of the damn name of it. So yeah, that was what we were talking about, holy hand grenade. So either AT4 or javelin. Javelin's much heavier. I'd rather carry around an AT4 than a javelin. But yeah, nobody carries around RPGs except for usually Taliban. Javelins are guided rockets, yes. How would you rate the overall difficulty of on a scale of 1 to 10 for what? Difficulty of, I'm not sure what you're asking. We're at 1 hour, by the way, guys. So usually these live streams last 1 hour. At this point, I'll usually hit on a couple more questions. Come backwards in the chat, see if I can find a question that maybe I missed that's a good question to answer. Maybe come back into the current part of the chat and see if we got a couple more questions before we end it. But if I missed your question, didn't get to it, didn't answer it, links down in the description for social media. Hit me up on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. You can message me on Instagram, and if you have a question, when I get around to it and I get a chance, I'll try to answer it if I can. So that's always the best way to ask your questions. If you have a specific question about the Army, if you're trying to hit me up just to talk or whatever, I don't usually have a lot of time to kind of do that. I have a day job, a family, YouTube, all that kind of stuff like that. But I try my best to occasionally here or there maybe, you know, engage with you guys the best that I can, right? So, but if you have questions, hit me up on Instagram. So let me go backwards. Actually, hold on, let me see. Any suggestions for not having an address to put down for my home of record? Do you not have parents? Are you homeless? I mean, you just put down your home of record of like where your parents live is where it should be. I mean, if you don't have any parents, you got somebody you lived with, right? Otherwise, I don't know what you would do beyond that. Like if your parents weren't around anymore and you were homeless and all that stuff, I don't know how that would work. You have to talk to a recruiter about that. But typically, you put down like the address for where your parents live. All right, let me come backwards in the chat. Let's see what else. Let's see what we got, and then we'll come backwards and I'll see what else I got. My dad was stationed in Camp Humphreys, South Korea. Humphreys was pretty cool. I've been to Humphreys before. What are your thoughts on Space Force, the new military branch? I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how it turns out. So look for a good question. What are the requirements for an Army sniper? Good thing I have a video out there. If you do a Google search or a YouTube search for ThatChrisChaos sniper, I'm sure that video will pop up. It's not even that old of a video, so you probably just go to my channel and probably be able to find it. Let's see here. Maybe this will be the question for the previous one. Should I enlist first, then go OCS later, or go directly into OCS from civilian life? So I'm assuming you have a college degree already. So if you already have a bachelor's degree and you want to go OCS, it really depends on what you want to do. Do you want to get that experience, you know, of getting your hands dirty, you know, kind of, you know, feeling it out as an enlisted soldier and then put in to go to OCS to become an officer? that works out pretty good for some people, because especially like a lot of enlisted soldiers really like officers that have enlisted experience. It feels more humbling. It feels more like they're on their level and they're, know where they came from, kind of a thing. But if you want to get straight into it and just be an officer and start making better money and get more into that leadership responsibility stuff right away, then OCS right away might be a better option for you. So it really depends on your personal kind of path of what you want to do. Do you want to start off, in the weeds and getting into it and getting your hands dirty first and then go to an officer? Or would you rather just get into the leadership stuff, start making better money, and get the path going towards, ranking up as an officer right away? So it kind of just depends on you, really. All right. When we come back to the current part of the chat, we'll do a few more questions and we'll be ending the live stream. Again, like I said, if I did not get to your question, hit me up down in the Instagram. Instagram link is in the description, so hit me up on Instagram. Or you can chat with the amazing people down in the Discord channel. You can chat with them as well. Maybe they have some answers for you. Do you need a certain high school GPA to enlist? No. All they care is that you got a diploma. They don't care what your GPA was. You could be a barely passing student, or you can be a straight A student, and it doesn't give you any advantage for getting into the Army. As long as you have a high school diploma, that's all they care about. Now, if you're a smarter person and you score higher on the ASVAB, then sure, that matters because you get more options available to you. But otherwise, your GPA in high school, as long as you passed and graduated and got a diploma, you're good to go. My parents live in New York and I live in an apartment in South Carolina. Once I get shipped out, my lease gets terminated. I can't use my parents' address because I'll have to pay taxes and register everything in New York. I mean, you can still choose to register in the state you get stationed in. I don't know how you could do it. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. I would talk to a recruiter about it. Maybe talk to a recruiter and see what the best option would be in that area. I don't know what the best option would be in that kind of situation. I don't know. Get a PO box somewhere. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know what the best option. I would talk to a recruiter, try to see if they have any good advice for that kind of situation, because I really don't have any good advice to give you for that. Get sworn in tomorrow. I'm excited. Well, good luck to you. The hated hyper. Got a question. My cousin took his ASVAB and made a 17 after he saw he fail. He called my uncle that was in the Army for 30 years, and all of a sudden he got in. How? I could not tell you. Sounds like maybe some shady stuff went on, but normally that's not going to have any pull unless he didn't really get a 17 and he's just making crap up and telling you that. But I really couldn't tell you. If you go back in the Army, would you go? No. My intent was always for the Army to be more of an experience, for me to get the experience and then move on to bigger and better things in my, kind of goals and everything like that. It was never to be like a lifelong thing and retire out of the Army. So no, I stayed in longer than I anticipated. I originally was only going to stay in for 4 years, get out, go to college. That turned into 10 years. I ended up doing a little over 10 years. And I still went to college afterwards. Not exactly the same thing I was going to go to college, but went a slightly different way than I anticipated. But still, I'd never really intended to make it a long thing, so I would not probably want to go back in. What would you say a good ASVAB score is? I don't really remember. It's broken down into multiple categories. Ideally, you want to score really high in all those categories because it opens the window for a lot of options for MOSs. Also opens a table for bonuses, because if you don't have like a 100 or above on your GT score, which is a section of the ASVAB, then you usually don't qualify for bonuses. You don't qualify to reclass if you want to change MOSs later at some point in time. So yeah. Yeah, I confused the crap out of my recruiter. Yeah, it does sound like a complicated situation, man. It would be kind of tough. I don't know, man. Can you join as an E5 or higher in the Army? Not unless you're prior service. Like if you were like an E5 or E6 in like the Air Force or something like that, then sometimes you can come over to the Army and keep your rank for that high. or you were already in the Army for a while and then you got out and then you want to come back in the Army, depending on how long you're out for, you might get to keep your rank. But otherwise, no. There's no way to come in higher than E4 other than if you were prior service, kind of a thing. But if you never had any military experience, the max you could probably come in is an E4 on the enlisted side anyways, and that requires still a bachelor's degree to be able to do that. How many a week do you live stream? Currently, we're kind of knocking it down to once a month. If you are a member, I'm probably going to do more live streams for members, but public ones, it's probably going to be once a month because in recently past kind of things, turnouts for the live streams have been down a little bit. So I feel like I've been oversaturating the live streams and doing them too often to where people aren't as interested in wanting to come because like, oh, I'll just come to the next week's one, or I've already been to a bunch this month already, whatever the thing is. So currently, at least probably for the remainder of 2020 for sure, I'll probably only be doing one public live stream for these ones once a month, and then probably one Modern Warfare Monday one. So really just 2 a month, one that's a Q&A and one that's a gaming one. If you want more than that, that's where it comes in from members. So like I'll probably do another live stream next Thursday, but it'll be for members. And so if members want to join in and kind of have a little bit more dedication to ask questions and hang out, probably boot up Call of Duty just because there's not as many people that show up for those either. But I try to reward the members with some stuff. So yeah, I used to do it every week, but that's not a thing anymore. Now it's once a month, unless you're a member. Members get more live streams now than just the public ones. Your opinion was the best career in the U.S. Army? I don't know. I mean, something that probably translates really well to the civilian side is always really good. You know, maybe like a 17 Charlie be probably a really good one. Your cybersecurity ones, right? I don't know. There's quite a few. Love your lives. Keep them coming every week. I know there's some of you guys. I know there's some of you guys that show up every week and everything like that. But in the past, the numbers of people that turn out for the live streams aren't as big as they used to be. I feel like it's kind of gone down a little bit because I feel like I'm doing them too often. So we've kind of dialed them back a little bit. How does drill work in the Army? You have a specific weekend that's usually dedicated each month for your unit, and that's usually when they come. I mean, you usually have like a schedule. Usually they plan out pretty far out that you can let your employer know that, hey, I have drill this time, you know, so I can't work this weekend or whatever the case is. But your unit has like some kind of schedule they put together, and they put it out usually ahead of time to tell you when you have drill. Are you on Twitch? I am not. I am, but I don't stream on Twitch anymore. I don't really like the way Twitch does things. So I have a Twitch account, and I used to stream on it, and I will use it to watch other people sometimes, but I don't actually stream myself anymore on Twitch. So no. Love your Army patches and tabs video. Awesome. Appreciate it. Let's fire watermelons out of a M2s. You have any caliber size? Okay, a couple more questions. We're going to be ending here pretty soon. Are you religious? Asking about if the chaplains are good. I mean, chaplains are cool. I'm not a big religious person. I don't have anything against it, but I also don't really practice anything. I'm kind of pretty neutral on that kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, chaplains are pretty cool. I always love chaplains because they're always way nicer than a lot of your other officers. So chaplains are cool. I love chaplains. Can you go to community college? Can you join as an officer? No, because you can't get a bachelor's degree in community college. So you need a bachelor's degree. An associate's degree is only going to get you E3, right? I think it would get you. It wouldn't get you enough to be able to do that. I mean, if you did like community college and then went on to graduate school to finish and get a bachelor's degree and then come in for OCS, then yes. But simply only having a community college isn't going to get you a high enough degree to be able to make you an officer. Do you know any cryptographic linguists? And if so, do they like it? I don't know. For a while, that was an overstrength MOS, and they were forcing the people to reclass to another MOS. I don't know if that's still the case or if that's been cleared up now. So that might be a little hard MOS to get into because I think they're overstrength in that MOS. Did you get the tats during the Army or after? Most during, right? So like my first tattoo was during, my little hymn logo was during, the outline of this was during, but I didn't get it actually filled in with everything, and I think until after. Or no, it was still during. Yeah, so actually, no, all of my tattoos were during. Because even on this side, the flames, that was during. I got them touched up later. So I don't think I've gotten any new tattoos after getting out of the Army, other than this being touched up because the red started fading out of it. So I had to get it touched up to get the red back in there. But yeah, I think so. I guess all my tattoos were in the Army that I got them. Do I know anything about 1888 Hotel? I don't. Did you have a secondary MOS? I did not. It's a pretty rare thing nowadays, especially too. I don't think they really do secondary MOS as much anymore, but I did not have a secondary MOS. All right, maybe looking for a couple more questions, and we're in this thing. Chris, if a soldier gets infected with COVID while in a combat zone, what happens to them? So if they don't need to be hospitalized, they're probably just going to be quarantined to an area. I'm sure they have something in plan, but it's probably going to be a thing where they're going to be under quarantine, isolated away. I don't know how they maybe have some kind of specific place on the FOB or on the base that they would have those soldiers go to be quarantined, possibly, I would imagine. And you have a secondary MOS, never heard of that yet. Yeah, that's not much of a thing anymore, but usually has to be related to your primary MOS. So like common ones I knew were like your fuelers would have a secondary MOS of 88 mic, because the fuel trucks, you got to drive the fuel trucks, so you'd have a secondary MOS 88 mic, get that schooling. I forget some other common ones that were kind of similar. Some kind of mechanics would get like a secondary MOS of like welding, because it's sometimes applied. So usually it had to be something that was related to your primary MOS. You couldn't just be, let's say a cryptologic linguist, right, or something like that, and your secondary MOS is 11 Bravo. No, it's got to be somehow related to your MOS. But nowadays it's even a little bit less common as far as that. All right, one more question. We'll do one more. Let's see. Tell a deployment story. I've got a couple of videos on deployment stories. What if you code as a POW? They're probably not going to care about you. Do college dropout enlist? They could. No really good questions. Any stories about 68 whiskeys? Not really. Nothing specific that I could think of off the top of my head. All right, I think that's gonna be it, guys. All right, so like I said, if you have a question, I didn't get to it, hit me up on Instagram, send me a message. Link in the description. Link in the description also for Discord channel. Go join the Discord and go talk to the awesome people over there. And usually VGMR, Holy Hand Grenade, and other people will be there probably to hang out and chat and a little after party kind of a thing after live stream. I'm gonna get some more editing done on a new video for Monday. This should be really fun with some skits kind of involved with it to give you a little bit of education, but also have a little fun inside of it. So we'll see how that kind of works out and how that kind of turns out and what you guys think of that. So hopefully that works out pretty well and all that kind of stuff. Possibly a stream on Saturday, maybe for Halloween. We'll see how things kind of go. So yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. So thanks for coming out. You rock. See you guys all again real soon. See ya.